Almost immediately before I started collecting Pullips, I adopted, or rather for Christmas, I got a couple of animator dolls as gifts. And the first thing I wanted to do was learn how to crochet. And the first project I made was this dress for Anna. Then I moved on to hats with little poof flowers, and then I made about 5 million hats. I made beanies like this, and I made pixie hats like this, and just about every color of fairly inexpensive yarn that I got from Joann's. And then I figured out how to make a little sweater. I learned to crochet from YouTube tutorials, and then I started improvising. I made this vest-like cardigan. I figured out how to make pants, and so then I made pants and hat sets. And then I started improvising with my sewing. I made this, I'm not sure what you would call it, somewhat of a pirate-like outfit. I started trying to figure out how to make all kinds of little twirl dresses and skirts. And one of the best dresses I made is this lavender one that I originally made for Lucy. I used a similar pattern for many dresses, and I gave away some of them as gifts, but I wasn't willing to sell them because they really were not very perfect. For Dal Tweedy and Dal Angry, I made them dresses when they first arrived because I wasn't interested in their original stock outfits. Dal Sakura, I made this little I Dream of Jeannie outfit. I asked my sister what kind of outfits she would like me to make for her. She sent me this red polka dot dress, and this is what I was able to make for her with a scarf I had. I bought some patterns on Etsy, and I started making this adorable little dress with poof sleeves. I'd like to make it for the Blythes, and I like to make it for the Dals, and I've made many versions of that dress. I purchased some Requiem art patterns to make some simple basics, like shirts and pants and harem pants and tank tops. Patterns have been so useful for making clothes for the Isuls, like pants and t-shirts, long sleeve shirts, and I've been able to make some great outfits for my handsome Killian, Taeyang. It was through a different pattern on Etsy that I learned how to make these coats, and I got really into making them for a while, trying to do pockets and liners, and I loved how you could do different patterns at the cuffs and along the neckline. Occasionally I've gone back to improvising an entire outfit, and this outfit that I made for Eliza is an example. I designed it to be worn two different ways, one a more classic and one a more contemporary fashion, and I love the material. I also improvised on this dress that I sent as a thank you gift to Mi Kochi. And sometime around last Christmas, I learned how to make this adorable crochet dress, and then I made 1,000 variations of that dress, some yarns that worked well and some that weren't quite as ideal. A small handful of times I have accepted commissions. This is a commission from Elizabeth Liedke. She wanted a dress much like Keira Knightley's outfit from the contemporary version of Pride and Prejudice. I did a commission/trade with Ren Zom when I wanted to adopt Buell Fata, and I made her a handful of little items in exchange. Another super fun but incredibly challenging commission was from QP83. She wanted a recreation of Regina's blue dress, Regina from Once Upon a Time. I made and remade this dress like 6 times before I finally found a version that was good enough to send her. I've donated outfits for special causes, and I've also sent outfits off as part of contest winnings and for holiday exchanges. This little bloomer's jumper is one of the more complicated patterns I've ever deciphered, and so I'm really proud of it, and I make it for very special presents for very special people. Now that it's getting colder again, I'm excited to do some more crochet. I do sets of hats and scarves and leg warmers. Sometimes I knit, but usually I just crochet. In the doll room, another handmade item is a collaboration between my husband and I. We made a bunch of little hangers. He put rods up in my secretary. So now I have a little dolly wardrobe of my dreams. This has been fun to share. I hope you've enjoyed the photos. I plan to get a lot more active in my Etsy shop this coming year. I've said this 1,000 times, but we're about to buy a house and I'm going to need to sell stuff on Etsy if I want to continue participating in this hobby. So Mina Mimosa on Etsy. Keep an eye out. 2017.